All right. Hello, everyone. I think I am live. How's everyone doing? Everybody hanging in there? Doing okay? Energy's been so intense this last week, hasn't it? But I did warn you, and others readers have warned you too, that March was going to be a pretty crazy month. April and May too. So I hope everybody's taking really good care, practicing grounding, continuing to try to raise our vibrations through all the stress, all this collective empathic stress that we're all picking up on. But I'm happy to be here with you all. It's been a little while. I had a Reiki class over the weekend. That went really well, and really excited with that. Have more classes in May, and then our level 2 classes in a few weeks. So been busy focusing in on that. This full moon eclipse energy, and I think the Schumann resonance was off all this week too. So a lot of people haven't been sleeping that well, not feeling the best either. So, but I'm here today, and I'm happy to be here with you all. We're gonna do some political and current event questions and answers. Lots going on. Before we get started with that, I think a lot of you probably have already heard, but we're all sending Mel Dore a lot of healing energy and prayers. He contacted me yesterday before we were supposed to go live in the afternoon and said he was up with abdominal pain all night and was going to go to the emergency room. And I guess he had some diverticulitis that perfed his colon and then turned into infection. So right now, I did talk to him earlier today. He's feeling a little bit better on some painkillers and antibiotics, and they're just going to see how he responds with that, see if they have to do an emergency surgery, or if it's something that can clear up and he can have surgery in a few weeks, or maybe a couple months. But we're all sending him a lot of healing energy, and I think he's going to make a full recovery. He might be out for a little bit, but sending him a lot of love. In the meantime, a lot of prayers. All of my Reiki and energy workers, if you want to send him some healing energy, I know he'd be really grateful for that. Okay. Just a couple things going on for me. I did just fill up my May Reiki classes, so I am completely booked. If anybody was interested in taking that class with me, I'm going to start a cancellation list in case we have any cancellations. So if you're interested and want to be on the cancellation list, you can send me an email at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com or contact me on my website, and I'll get a list going. It'll probably be the last class that I do for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break over the summer, focusing on creating a Holy Fire Master level class and getting some review with that. So that I'm hoping to offer by the end of this year, early next year. So have that to look forward to. But I'll probably do some more level 1 and 2 classes end of summer, early fall. So I am going to be on Lori, the Way of Positive Changes channel next Tuesday at, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern. Let me just double check. Yeah, March 18th. Lori's channel, The Way of Positive Change, at 2. I'm excited, looking forward to that. We had her on my channel a few weeks ago, and everybody really seemed to enjoy that collaboration. So I'll be on her channel. For my members, we're going to do our monthly get-together for our Reiki and prayers on this coming Monday, so March 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just a reminder for members or anybody that might want to become a member, you have more information in the description box. And let me just see, I think that's it. I don't think Mel will be up to our show next Thursday, but whenever he's feeling better, we'll start doing that show again too. Like I said, in the meantime, send him a lot of love and healing energy. I think that's about it that I have going on for right now. Now, I will just say yesterday, I know a lot of people were telling me they were feeling a bit anxious with this heavy energy coming in and even a little bit of anger. And I will just say for myself, I usually I can rise above all of the chaos and all the turbulence, but I don't know. I'm really disappointed with the Democrats and Schumer, you know, kind of giving up and not fighting. I have said I do see the Republican Party imploding and changing. Donald Trump will cause that, but I've also said I feel this younger, fiery, progressive energy kind of starting to take over the party, and I think we're starting to see that as well. But yeah, really disappointed. They want us to vote for them and support them, but then when we need to fight up against Trump and all the destruction that he's doing, they're going to, be the good guys and settle and compromise. I don't know. It's a bit infuriating. Um, but we'll definitely look into that. So yesterday I was picking up on it before Schumer made that announcement. I wasn't sure if there was going to be a short shutdown and then Democrats were going to fold, or if they were going to fold before this vote. So, not that it's really a lose-lose situation, either way. Um, it's not great, but I mean, we need those fighters in our party to really stand up to Trump and MAGA. We're starting to see it. I mean, Bernie's going to a lot of red districts, doing town halls, and Tim Walz is doing that. Seeing a lot of fiery young progressive energy starting to stand up too. So I do think that there'll be some positive changes in for our party, but I do feel a little bit of division and kind of cleaning house as well. Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at Schumer. I mean, I think, and obviously, if he's going to come out against bringing it up, there's other Democrats that don't want to close down the government as well. So, um, my thought is, let's see who's going to really fight for us, and when primaries come around, we can vote in somebody better, somebody that's going to fight for us. All right, please don't come for me. I know the energy's so heavy right now. That's just my opinion. You're entitled to yours. But I think a lot of people are disappointed with the party right now. That's for sure. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Yes, Bernie's raising hell. I love it. Let's take a look at the shutdown. Like I said, I feel like it's probably going to pass, but let's just see. Last I knew that I don't think they voted, or maybe they're just starting to vote. So. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of you are disappointed too. Like I said, it's a lose-lose situation, but I think the party and the Democratic voters, they want somebody that's going to stand up to the bully and fight. I did tell you too, somebody just asked about Pete Buttigieg. We'll take a look at him. I did say that he was going to consider running for that Michigan Senate race, but I didn't think he was going to actually jump in, and he said that he wasn't going to. No, I don't think Chuck folded because he was being paid off or threatened. I think he was afraid of being blamed for him, and others were afraid of being blamed for the shutdown. Yeah, the party's got to get better with the messaging. I agree, Earth Mama, and they're going to. We're going to see a lot of shining new stars coming up out of the party, and we've already been starting to see that too. Let's see. Are we going to have a shutdown? Let's just throw a couple cards. And thank you all for all the prayers and healing energy from Mel. I know he'll appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's help continue to grow the channel and get these messages out there. All right, so are we going to go into a government shutdown? Definitely pick up on the anger collectively. All right. So I know I'm not the only one out there that's pretty upset with some of the leadership. Yeah, I think it's going to pass. You have the sun here. Ace of Wands came flying out, and this deck, it has a rooster with it, so it's very, very fiery, almost anger energy kind of coming through it, but also very passionate, calls to act. And you know, you have the devil here as well, so you have some anger over this. I think a lot of people are feeling a bit stuck, unsure of what the right decision to make is, but they're looking to hold on to some kind of security for our country. Final outcome, you have the Ten of Pentacles here, which would be like funding. So I do feel like funding's going to pass. The sun, that's a yes, that the government's going to stay open. I think some Democrats, though, kind of folded. They were really thinking it through. They felt like they had no other options, feeling trapped and restricted. And temperance coming in. So they're trying to come to balance, come to some kind of agreement. But yeah, I do feel like it's going to go through. I guess we'll know here very shortly if it does or not. But like I said, I think it's going to cause a lot of anger in the party. So, but ultimately, it'll be for the best, I think. I get it. Like I said, it's a lose-lose situation. But I think people are kind of frustrated as well. Yeah, we'll take a look at the protests too. And you know what? I get it too, because Donald Trump would love nothing more than to shut down the government and just give himself even more power and control over the situation. And we know that he's gutting all of these federal agencies too. So, I mean, I get strategically, like I said, it's a lose-lose situation. But I think what we really need to be doing right now is calling to action and, you know, speaking our truth and fighting back. Let's take a look at Schumer, since we're on this subject. And I've said, and I haven't said it in a while, but if you've been following me for a while, I did feel AOC would eventually maybe take Schumer's place, which I think is kind of interesting because they're talking about that now. But let's just take a look. Is he going to remain the majority or minority leader? Or is there some leadership changes happening in the Democratic Party? And we can read on specifically, too, if AOC will run for a Senate seat. I will say AOC's destiny, she's going to either be a majority leader or Speaker of the House. But I would not be surprised if she runs for the Senate. Maybe runs for the Senate and then goes to the House again. I don't know. But I definitely see AOC as the future of our party in a really promising position. Maybe not, I'm not necessarily picking up president, but definitely in a power position. Yeah, I saw Trump congratulated Schumer too. He's got to kind of rub his nose in it a little bit. Let's take a look. Is Schumer going to remain minority leader? That's interesting. Interesting. I don't know if there's a change right now, but I do feel like there will be a change coming in. It's interesting because right now he was chosen. There's that partnership arrangement with the Two of Cups, but what's crossing him, his obstacle, is this fiery, new progressive Democratic Party coming in. These younger, more vocal leaders on the rise. And so he is going to have some competition here. Right now, he's still got the star above him, so I'm not necessarily picking up on a change right now. But no, there is some disappointment. Disappointment over opportunities, a job, female coming in power as well. I did have the Five of Pentacles come out, which would be like some kind of loss of position or job insecurity there. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he stays in for a little bit longer, but the party's going to be crossing him and wanting some new leadership too. Anybody know when Chuck's up for re-election? Wasn't he just re-elected? So it'd be a while before his term's up anyway. And somebody in the chat let me know, but there is definitely somebody younger wanting change in the party. Let's see if it's AOC. Is she going to run for a Senate seat? 2028. Yeah, I thought it was a while. And let me know if the vote takes place while we're live, how that goes. I think they probably should be voting just about now. I heard Pelosi come out against Schumer, Barbara. She said that they needed to be fighting back. I mean, I hear you. I'm kind of irritated with our party leadership as well. And no, Democrats aren't very happy with him right now. Heard a lot of House members coming up against him. AOC said it was a betrayal. Yeah, he could be voted out as majority leader. I think he'll be in there for a little bit longer, but he still has the star above him. But I don't think it's much. He'll be in that position for too much longer. I'm sure Crockett and AOC were not happy. Like I said, I do, even though it's, it's a shame, but I do see changes in the Democratic parties for the better too. They're going to get a lot better with that messaging and fighting the bully. I wouldn't even be surprised if these veteran marches over the weekend, if a lot of Democrats come out and voice their frustration with the party there too. Let's see though. Is AOC going to run for Schumer's seat? And if she runs for it, will she win? She's seriously considering it. Like I said, we got a couple years still, but Magician. She's standing up for the party. Hierophant above her. Okay. It's interesting. She's considering it, but I don't know if right now if that's going to be the case. Because she's got the Five of Swords, which is like a loss. The Hermit, so taking some time to really reflect upon it. She's got the Hierophant above her, so she has a big position in the government in the future. And she's standing up, fighting for what she believes in. I don't know if it's going to happen right yet, though. It might not be for Schumer, but I do see her running for the Senate eventually. She's got some time to figure that out. Okay. It might be after Schumer's out. Yeah, I saw Hakeem Jeffries objected to Schumer's stance as well. Yeah, not right now for AOC. But she's got a big, bright future, we'll say that. All right. So let's take a look. We wanted to start off with that. Let's see. Giga Hellblaze said, stay safe. I did hear there was going to be a lot of tornadoes and storms for the Midwest. So sending a lot of prayer energy. Yeah, I do feel like it's going to be pretty significant. There'll be a few tornadoes out of it. Everybody just stay safe. Let's put up protection for those affected in that storm's path. Okay. All right. Yes, I agree, Sharon. We can take a look at that then. Okay. So I haven't heard much of the veterans protests. Didn't they start today? I remember when I was reading on this heavy energy for March, I was picking up a lot of anger and civil unrest, protests. Let's take a look at these veterans marches. It's energy for those. Yeah, started today. I haven't heard anything about it so far today. It was peaceful. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Joel. I did post something on my community board the other day, and I did delete it because I wasn't able to fact check it. But you'll all remember I said I felt like there was a huge military response. I saw like a city on fire. And I know that there's been a lot of drone attacks hitting Moscow, but also, you know, a lot of attacks in Ukraine too. But I did have that dark vision of city burning. Yeah, of course, the Veterans March is being kept out of the mainstream media. There was a lot of people in DC. It was on Jessica Denson's channel. All right, let's take a look at the Veterans Marches. That's interesting. There is some kind of loss over this. Maybe it's going over the weekend, but there is a bit of sadness and worry. I hope it's not an attack. Well, people are going to fight back against Trump cutting all of these agencies and cutting all of this assistance to people that need it. There's going to be some negotiation here from Trump as well, trying to hold on to the money, but there's give and take with Trump. So I do think the protests are going to make a difference. And I've said too, I feel like these trade wars he's starting, I see him doing it for a little while, but him folding on that idea very quickly and backtracking. Yeah, there's a lot of group work and support coming in here. People are pissed. They're ready to act. But it's crossed by the Ten of Swords, which is some kind of betrayal, some kind of heartbreak. A lot of people right now are reviewing their options, making a plan to speak out. And a lot of hard work coming in from those that are unhappy with what's going on. There is some kind of sneaky strategy, though, that leads to some sadness, grief. Let's ask specifically if everybody's going to be protected. Are people going to be safe for this? That was my first thought with some of those. Yes, I agree. He does want to declare martial law. And that may be the thing that he does that is just too much for even a lot of Republicans, because I do see here sooner rather than later Republicans starting to stand up against him too. I don't see this energy calming down. People are pissed. People's livelihoods are at stake. Their families at stake with a lot of these cuts that they want to do. I don't see the energy calming down. It just continues to build and gain more support. We're going to look at if these protests, if everybody's going to be safe, because I didn't like some of the energy I was picking up in those cards. Ten of Swords comes up again. Does anybody know if there's counter protests to these protests? If somebody coming up that's a bully, that's abusing their power, I wonder who that could be. There's loss, people feeling left out in the cold, abandoned. Yeah, I don't like the energy. Maybe it's not from these protests, but protests coming up. Like I said, people, people's livelihoods are at stake with this, and people are going to come up and fight. But there is a bit of people feel abandoned, left out in the cold. Somebody comes in abusing their power, and it leads to retreat with the Four of Swords. And in the traditional Rider Waite, it's the coffin, so it can be a card of meditation, but taking a step back. And some people feeling very restricted, trying to hold on to security. Yeah, I would be very careful, because there may be some counter protests. And I wouldn't be surprised too if, as these protests continue, you see Donald Trump trying to send in the National Guard or military. So follow your intuition if you're going to protest. I think it's important that we all act in whatever way we're able to, if that is protest, if that's organizing. Do something. We have to fight back, but just be cautious and be very aware of your surroundings as well. I know who protests against our veterans. Proud Boys are in DC now against the vets. Okay. That's very interesting. I agree, Gloria. They may not go. The military wouldn't go against the vets. I am feeling okay today. The energy's been very heavy. It's not an easy time to be an empath and a light worker with all of this crazy energy we're going through, but I'm doing my best to manage. All right. Let's take a look at the economy. Antoinette's granddaughter says, "I'd like to see if you see a recession, will it be as bad as 2008?" I lived through that. No banks closed. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily feel a crash. I do think it may be a light recession that we're going into. I do see Trump folding on a lot of these trade wars he's trying to start in tariffs. It's going to backfire. And I would be surprised if it goes on for more than 3 months. So in the short term, do I feel like there's some kind of a recession? Yes, but I'm not feeling a huge collapse like 2008. All right, but let's just take a look at the economy. Meanwhile, Donald Trump with his back and forth, if he's going to add tariffs to our allies, keeps going back and forth. The stock market's been dropping all week. I did see it was up earlier today. But meanwhile, he's going to Mar-a-Lago and golfing, and then it's time to do an advertisement for Elon and Tesla because the Tesla's stocks are plummeting. I find it so funny. It's not really funny, but doesn't surprise me. Causes chaos and then just runs away from any responsibility in the matter. All right. Is our country going to go into a recession? It's going to be stressed. Interesting. I'm not getting a crash. I do think there's going to be a lot of restrictions, financial restrictions that a lot of us are going to go through. And to me, that feels like it's more of the inflation and the tariffs on goods. So prices going up. I do feel like the stock market is going to continue to trend down, not crash. There's funding and there's money here for us. But it's really interesting because the final outcome that you have is the death card with Trump. Now, I would not be surprised if that would be a physical passing, even though typically that's not how it's read. But there's some kind of change that Trump is going to make because the economy maybe is starting to go down. There's a strong foundation for our economy, but there's going to be a lot of people having to look over what they can afford. And maybe we can look into Trump's health because I haven't read on it for a while. But I did also share, I did feel like there was going to be more attempts. I'm not going to say the word against Trump. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually a physical passing of him that kind of stops the markets and the economy from falling. It's going to definitely be stress, and there's a lot of fighting and back and forth going on. But I feel like we're going to be successful with the Magician and then the Six of Wands coming in too. So be prepared, stock up with what you can now before prices go up. Or they're going to continue to go up, but I'm not necessarily feeling a very big recession or like a depression. I'm not picking that up. All right. Yeah, but save what you can. It's not a time to do a lot of big spending unless you need something. You know, if you need a vehicle or appliances, anything that's going to go up drastically in costs, I would say get it now. But if not, hold on to your money. You know, get a good savings account if you're able to. I know it's a struggle for so many of us right now. That's a good question, Carrie. Thank you. Breaking. Trump orders military to plan invasion of Panama to seize canal. I did tell you I didn't feel China, Canada, or Greenland coming in, but I did feel like Trump was going to have some kind of military activities around Panama. I've said it on the channel. Let's take a look at it. This is the first that I'm hearing about that. I don't feel like it's an all-out war, but I do feel he wants that. He wants the canal. He may try to seize that. Let's see. Is the military going to invade Panama? I don't know if he's ready to act just yet. There's definitely plans on it. Let me get the sun though. We're going to walk away from it though. There may be some kind of action taken there. Right now, he's trying to come up with a plan, setting, you know, what to give, what to take for it. And there is goals to seize the canal. You can actually see 3 of Wands. You can see the ships coming in. So there's a plan for that. You have the sun, so there's going to be some action taken. However, I do feel it's short-lived because those that are allied with Panama are going to come together, and we're going to have to walk away from taking it. It's all about the money, though. I'm sure that there's some kind of tax or, you know, for shipping and getting ships in there, but it's all about trying to create that wealth, you know, seize property. It's going to be a bit of a fight there, but I don't see this being successful, this plan. Has anybody said, somebody just said it was breaking news, but has anybody said, or have they said on the news if that's already taking place or just something that he's planning on doing? Yeah, the rest of the world will stand up to him. Absolutely. I don't see him being successful with this plan, but I did say something about Panama felt a little bit off. And he may send some troops there, but it's not going to be successful. Planning on, thank you. Okay. Wildflower saying nothing on CNN. It's something he's planning on. Thank you guys for clarifying. Yeah, I agree. The 25th Amendment should be invoked now. Yeah, like I said, I think he's going to continue to push the limits, and I do see it getting to a point where even Republicans are like, we this can't happen. we're not gonna. I'm not saying that I'm seeing enough Republicans coming up to impeach him, but it's gonna get crazy. The 25th Amendment may be used. Let's take a look at his health. We haven't read on that in a while. I mean, just seeing him speech, his speeches and everything. I mean, he's clearly not all there in the head. Let's see what else is going on with his health. And we'll take a look at Elon too. I said I felt like he was going to have a lot of financial issues. I do see other stuff coming in too for him. I told you I feel like he may flee, like he's leaving the country fearful of his life. There's a sense of urgency with it, but I do see him losing quite a bit of money. Let's take a look at Trump's health. The Hangman. Interesting. I am picking up that he may have some kind of surgery. The health is going to become an issue here, and I've been saying that for a while. But he's crossed by the Ace of Swords, which can be a card for surgery. He's very, very weak and depleted. Final outcome, he's got the Temperance card, which is a card of healing, trying to restore balance. I'm feeling the heart chakra from this Ace of Wands energy, kind of being pulled to the heart. I do feel like there may be some intestinal issues as well. And clearly, mentally, there's the cognitive decline there too. But yeah, he's getting very, very weak here. I'm feeling he's going to have some kind of surgery here very soon. It feels like within the springtime. March, April, May. Something going on with the heart and something with, I'm feeling like the bowels or the digestive system. Doesn't feel very good to me, you guys. That's a good point. Donna says he doesn't have a heart, so that's not it. Very true. Will we get our Social Security checks for April? I'm feeling yes. They're going to try to cut Social Security, but I don't see them being successful with it, you guys. They wouldn't have the votes. I'll throw a card on it, but I do feel like you'll get your Social Security checks. They're gunning for Medicaid right now and cuts to Medicare. They have plans for Social Security, but I don't see them achieving those plans or maybe even getting to that point. Does anybody know, did they actually have a vote if they're going to bring the budget bill to the floor? Has that happened yet? I get a yes. You'll get your Social Security checks. Here's the money. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords being victorious. They're going to try to fight it though. But I still see the Knight coming in with offers, with financial offers. Yeah, they're working hard to keep it, to get the checks out. I see the checks staying. I don't think that they're not going to get rid of it. Okay. They haven't had the vote yet. Thank you, Gloria. I don't see them totally cutting Medicare or Medicaid, but they are going to make some cuts to it, you guys. You know, the thing is there's going to be a lot of collective suffering for both sides if they do that. And unfortunately, sometimes when we go through the hardships is when we get that awareness and when we see what's really going on. I mean, our community sees what's going on. But it's going to deeply affect a lot of red poor states as well. Okay. Yes, it will face turmoil, Joel. Medicaid cuts will face turmoil. And that's where I'm saying this anger, this outrage, people going out to the streets and protesting, it's just going to continue. It's just going to continue to build. This anger is building, and we're not going to be silent on what Trump and his administration wants to do. Okay. And that's how we're going to, you have the courts holding some kind of checks and balances in all of this, just barely, but they're going to get a lot of pressure from their voters. Okay. Because people aren't just going to give up. We're going to continue to fight. All right, let's see what else. Probably just do another question or two, you guys, before I wrap up. We talked about Pete Buttigieg earlier. You'll remember I said I didn't see him running for the Senate, but I do think he'll run again for president in 2028. I don't see him being successful with that. I do see him being looked at again for a VP pick, but I think right now he'll be maybe Secretary of State in 2028, or whenever the next president comes in. And like I said, it could be sooner because I don't see Trump or Vance in there for very long. But I do see Pete will run for president, and I see him being successful. He'll be a VP too. He's young. He's got a big career ahead of him. Let's take a look at Tesla. Are they going to continue to go down? I do feel the Tesla stock's continuing to go down. I think, I don't remember who I was listening to, but they were saying like they go down to a certain point, Elon's going to have to liquidate stocks. Or make liquidations to the company. Very long and hummingbird. I don't see him finishing out his term. Like I've said this many times, I would be surprised if he's even in there for a full year. Timing's not always the easiest to read on, so you can take it however you want to take it. Okay. All right, Tesla stocks. I agree with you, a year is too long, but it's not really something that I'm in control of. So don't shoot the messenger. I can just tell you what I see. Ooh, yeah, there's a crash there. It's kind of temporarily being stalled. There's definitely a decline in it. There's some kind of action that he's taking that might kind of slow the fall of the stocks down, but he does have the tower as a final outcome for him. He's trying to make deals with people to keep it afloat, but the tower is going to come crashing and burning for the Tesla stocks. I'm sure most of you probably aren't invested in it, but I would suggest if you are, I would sell it. But I don't think any of us are. Yeah, it's going to continue to shift going downwards. So that's one good thing that's happening. Yeah, I heard Bitcoin, I think, was starting to crash too. I went out earlier. I went out to the store and I saw two of those stupid cyber trucks. I don't know. You know, even if it's not something political, I don't know how anybody can actually think that they look cool. They're ugly. I can't remember. Somebody was calling the Tesla cars swastikars, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know how anybody can think they're cool driving one of those freaking robotic trucks. It looks stupid. They are ugly. They are not cute. You know, it's a shame when I was, last year before the election, I went on vacation early in the year, and one of our Uber drivers had a Tesla, and I thought it was kind of cool how it could go by itself and just like the navigation with it. But yeah, I have no interest in buying a Tesla now. They look stupid. They're the ugliest vehicles. Yes. I agree with you, Donna. She says, when I see him, I think, what a douche. Yeah, but I try not to be judgmental of others, but I'm not going to lie, the thoughts cross my mind as well. All right, you guys, let's see. We have one more good question. Let's see. Will NATO march on Moscow? I don't think they'd be marching, but there may be some kind of support there. But let's end with this question. See if there's any NATO response to the war coming up. I'm feeling yes, very strongly. Could even be some kind of aerial support. And then we'll end with just any messages and guidance from Spirit to navigate these very trying times. Like I said, next week, I will be on Lori, the Way of Positive Change channel next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, which I'm looking forward to. As long as Lori's feeling better and feeling up to it. I haven't chatted with her in a while. I do have my members live next Monday. We're going to do some Reiki and prayers. And I'm sure I'll jump on sometime to do a solo show next week as well, okay? I hear you. I went on my rant about Schumer, and a lot of these Democrats, it's time for them to retire, unfortunately. All right, well, NATO march on Moscow. They're giving, well, I did hear that the U.S. is giving Ukraine intelligence, but they are helping out with intelligence and surveying. They're going to continue to give the resources, holding on to security. There is a bit of a conflict here with NATO, though. Five of Wands isn't necessarily a card with a lot of action in it, but there's like give and take. It's a tug of war. Yes, they're going to give group work, collaboration, resources. Strong woman energy coming through here. Queen of Swords and that fiery Queen of Wands. They're going to continue to give resources and intel to Ukraine. There may be an instance where NATO has to step in and show some kind of dominance, but I'm not necessarily feeling them marching into Moscow right now. But they're going to continue to aid. There's going to be a tense situation between NATO countries and Russia coming up, though. All right. There's some action that NATO will take against Russia. I feel that very strongly. All right, you guys. So let's just ask the guide, spirit, to give us some messages to wrap up. What wisdom do they have to share with us right now? What advice do they have to manage our vibration and energy during these trying times? Alignment. We got to continue to find that alignment. Let me find it in the book. A convent of mind, body, and spirit. Your soul is your biggest fan. If it knows the truth of you and loves you unconditionally, it is continuously streaming this information to you. To tune in, your mind, body, and spirit must all agree in the now. Do this by meditating, focusing in on your soul name, enjoying something you love, or taking a nap. It is not up to your soul to zap you into alignment. Its job is to maintain your soul station so you have the frequencies to tune into. The nature of physical life is to create and expand. Sometimes life experiences will pull you out of alignment so you can understand these experiences from a different angle. When you are out of alignment, you will automatically ask questions and want to create something different. Through this process, you gain clarity about your passions. Being out of alignment can feel awful. It's easy to blame a person or situation when we feel bad, but instead of asking why something is happening, take a breath, return to neutral, and ask what you can create from the situation. And remember, your soul is a consistent, loving home you can return to always. So right now, Spirit's saying that we all need to just try to find that alignment, to ground, if it's to clear our mind from all of the chaos that we're consuming, whether it's meditation, resting, going out into nature, and trying to align to our higher purpose and calling, figuring out whatever kind of action that we can do as a way to fight back against the injustices that we're seeing in the world. But in the meantime, try to keep your energy levels up. The self-care being really important right now, you guys. I'll just say I've been exhausted all week. So just make sure that we're listening to our body, our mind, or soul. We need to rest. Take that rest. Do a lot of that good clearing. Distract yourself from everything, all the chaos going on. Focus your vision. Be vigilant to your attention. Focus on those things that are uplifting and supporting for us all. If we focusing on the news and all of the destruction going on, it's just going to cloud up our vision, our focus. It's important to be aware of what's going on, but not absorbing it. Okay. Well, you're all welcome. Thank you for all the love and support. I'm so grateful to all of you guys. Yes, and continue to send that healing energy and prayers to Mel. Creation. I have the power to direct my life with constructive attitude. I create what is best for my soul. I firmly believe I can transform and improve my inner and outward worlds by turning every thought into affirmation action. I act in the image of God and bring light into my life. So creation, being focused on what we're manifesting too by where we're putting our attention, focusing on constructive ways to act. How can we all take charge and fight back, be that resistance? And let's pick a crystal. Yeah, I did hear that the Schumann resonance went completely dead earlier this week in that blood moon eclipse. Yes. And that's really something that I've been focusing on too. Just my own personal self-care, trying to manage all of this collective stress. I knew we were going to get a grounding crystal. Let's see what we got. We got hematite, you guys. I love carrying hematite on for me. It's instantly grounding. It's like a magnet to the earth. I have a couple pieces. Just holding on to it just makes me feel so calm and relaxed. The message with hematite is iron absorption. It connects earth and third eye chakras, balancing, calming, and grounding. Helps to ground psychic wisdom for use in daily life, alleviate fear and anxiety, support interstellar vision, increase practical wisdom. The message is my strength is balanced with wisdom. So just making sure that we're taking that time to ground, to connect with the earth. Bring in that good anxiety relief. All right. Yes, I love the hematite. I have some right up here. I always like to carry some in my pocket while I'm doing readings, just to kind of keep all the psychic intuition grounded, kind of balance out my energy with that yin and yang energy. Okay. I'm sending you all a lot of love. You all take really good care of yourself. I will be on next week. And like I said, let's continue to send Mel a lot of love and healing energy. I'll keep you updated when I hear more from him, okay? All right. Y'all take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.